It is a little after 2 o'clock here on the East Coast, and so we wanted to get started with the Infogroup presentation. Ben Goldman, who is the VP of Digital Sales Solution Partnership, who will be presenting this presentation. It went into detail about data offerings and how Infogroup collects data, information about Infogroup itself. So it'll be a really informative presentation. And so I'm going to pass it off to Ben. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to type them in the Q&A box, and we'll ask questions at the end of the presentation. So we'll just compile them all together, so probably more than one person has the same question. So please type them into the Q&A box, and we'll get to them at the end. But if you haven't, with no further ado, we'll now start the presentation. Ben, if you would take it over.
Hi, thank you, Star. So, thank you. My name is Benjamin Goldman, VP of Digital Data Solutions and Partnerships here at Infogroup. And not only am I here to talk about Infogroup and the kind of data we offer, but I am want to talk about a paradox that my team and I kind of discovered in regards to the whole industry. So I'll get right into it. So the separation of work from life has grown to be an impossibility. With the evolution of email, cell phones, laptops, and frankly the internet, the lines between business and personal have blurred. When you're at work, it's hard to avoid that text message from your wife reminding you of the to-do list you have when you get home. And at home, the ding of the email from your phone or laptop will remind you of the work you're going to have to do later that night. This merging of two worlds represents a tremendous marketing opportunity if you can grab it. Now, if you kind of look at the problem from its beginnings, it really starts from its early days of marketing, the early days of print and then TV. The industry separated its targets of customers, today's audiences, into two main groups. You're trying to target consumers, or you're trying to target professionals. Now, the goals of these mediums were to reach the mass audiences, try to reach all the consumers or all of the decision makers by focusing on a specific publication, TV station, or network. But then online came, and the same premise was started. Online has grown beyond its peers because of the evolution and the strategic use of data. The dichotomy of these two worlds can be brought together through the proper use of data. If you look at the basics behind B2B and B2C, it's not saying why there is the silos that they are. The purchase triggers between a consumer buying and a B2B, there are big differences. Consumer choices tend to be more spontaneous and emotionally triggered. Business decisions usually have mechanisms in place to minimize the emotional component. They look at data and facts to make decisions. Look now at the methodologies of the two marketing strategies and the way agencies look at them. B2B marketers typically look and concentrate on the customer journey. They focus on ROI and understanding exactly what is necessary to move leads through the pipeline. B2C marketers were quick to jump into the online and marketing worlds, mastering search and programmatic, but it's ability to reach large audiences to give precise metrics for optimization. B2C marketers look to engage and always hunt for the next best way to engage, whether it be mobile, video, and VR, and beyond. The key thing here you guys have to remember is that at the end, people are making the decisions, and that's who we're focusing on. So to get down to the paradox that I'd like to point out, it's called the multi-persona paradox. And it's what the industry has created when trying to separate targeting or viewing either the consumer or the professional attributes. In the ad tech space, we've come a far way, but the approaches have not caught up to the way we see people, which makes it possible to target them. They live their daily lives. earlier, this opens a door for a tremendous marketing opportunity to reach our customers by looking at the full picture of their persona, and letting that determine when they might be most receptive to your message. For example, a business executive who might be marketing for your software product, during the mix of his busy day, he is not in the mindset to learn about your product. However, when he gets home and puts the kids to bed at 9 p.m., maybe that is the time that he does his web research to review for his software. Understanding the balance between a person's business and their job title and their consumer life will help you understand which time and message to send your audience. So this is a multi-persona paradox. Now, I have an agenda I have for today, which I've kind of already done partially, which is by introducing the marketing persona paradox to you all. I'm going to go down the line of what Infogroup is and how we were helped to discover this paradox, and then we're going to try to talk about how we can solve it. So, talk about Infogroup. Earlier, Infogroup is a data company at its heart, and we've been in business for over 40 years. We have built in over 40 years the most complete, comprehensive, and accurate data in the business. Few that compiles both business and consumer data today. And historically, data has been used in the offline space for direct mail, email, CRM hygiene, and data processing, and more. Ours includes some of the 70 of the top Fortune 100 companies. Infogroup's key differentiator, or key factor, is that we wrap technology and services around our data to help clients take action. For example, we provide analytics to help our clients understand who their best customers are, who needs to churn, or what next product they should promote to their clients. Similarly, we have helped our clients execute multi-channel campaigns where we execute in the direct or email piece, and then we push that identical audience to the client's DSP or agency so you have the full cross-channel execution. Now, as Infogroup has come into the digital space over the last two years, Infogroup transformed our highly deterministic data to be across the digital landscape by DSPs, DMPs, exchanges, and ad servers, me being our DMP of record. When you look at data providers, there are kind of look at accuracy and scale, and obviously where the source of the data comes from. And to point out here is that Infogroup, again, has been in the business for 40 years. We have vision, compilation, and data processing in those 40 years. And that's really one of our key differentiators that hold to today. But I started, when you look at data providers and you're trying to find differentiators, the thing that keeps coming up is scale and accuracy. So try to hit those two head on. What you're looking at is a cookie chart that we got from estimated from various DSPs. It varies obviously month to month. What I believe stems and was the reason for our reach is due to a high level of accuracy and attention we've kept to making sure that our emails and addresses are the highest level of accuracy in the market. We spend over $20 million a year on technology to ensure that we have the highest level of accuracy. So the reason why this has led to our reach is because when we match our PII data to the various onboarders, we are matching real emails and addresses that have been verified with the market, which has shown to have a very high match rate. If you get accuracy, this story emerges with Infogroup. Unlike many online providers where once your data is in the online environment, it is very hard to differentiate which data providers are more accurate because all data is anonymized. But in the offline space, because we do have PII, we do have the ability to run these data audits that basically allow us to compete with some of our peers and kind of see who does have the most accurate data. What you're looking at now is a portion a business data audit that was done, and we're kind of going three various segments: our executive titles, our number of employees, and primary industry. But the full data goes into much more of our B2B data. The key when it comes to our B2B is that Infogroup powers the point of interest data that is used by some of the top search engines and in-car navigation systems in the country. And in order to keep the level of accuracy that is needed to keep the partnerships of the Googles and the Yahoos and the Bings and the Garmins, we have a team in Omaha, Nebraska that's over 300 employees that make over 35 million calls a year to small businesses and businesses to confirm that the data is accurate. I don't know any other companies that go to this level to ensure data accuracy, and those within this audit. To our consumer side, I want to point out a few things as it pertains to the holiday season. If you notice, there are three main areas where we really kind of head of the pack, and we are the highest level of accuracy. And you'll notice our presence of child, marital status, and age. We are far and away the highest level of accuracy. And I would believe that these are three audiences that would be used greatly in the holiday season. So I have level set and told you a little about Infogroup. I'm going to come back to the problem. Okay, we're solving for the paradox that exists today where we have siloed people into either business or consumer attributes, whether we're looking at a demographic, age, gender, or a firmographic, job title, and industry. And as I've mentioned earlier, the problem started back in print, then TV, search, and the programmatic. And you can even see some of this dichotomy trying to come out today. We see that in today's world we have two new hyper-targeting solutions created both in B2B and B2C. B2B marketers are touting their account-based marketing capabilities, where they recognize companies that are in market and try to target employees at those companies. And of course, everybody's probably heard about people-based marketing, the solution of trying to target specific identities and devices. Both of these strategies, to me, indicate that the market is seeing that we want to target specific people with a specific message. Now, the key here is when we're making a consumer or business decision, the one commonality is a need that exists for the product or service and the ability to buy that product. What this means is timing. To understand the right time to get the right message, and this is the holy grail of marketing. You are missing a tremendous opportunity to connect with your customers if you do not see the full persona. And if you miss one side or the other, you have that opportunity to connect with your customers. An example being, if let's say you are an agency and you're trying to target the packaged foods or delivery business, let's say a pizza, what would be the best time to reach your target audience? A brand might only target families with children. Meaning that a working mom, the best time to reach her probably would be 2 to 5 as she's wrapping up her workday, scrambling to go home. An example of an opportunity for packaged goods to target executive moms during specific times during the day. As I mentioned, I'm going to present you with an answer which Infogroup has created, which is now called Executive Reach. Executive Reach. As I mentioned earlier, Infogroup is among the only and major data providers that compile both B2B and B2C data at scale. In doing, we built Executive Reach, which offers the perfect blend of Infogroup's business and consumer data. This base allows us to view executives as consumers, making buying decisions at home or at work. And more importantly, it allows us to create targetable audiences we can in either environment. Executive Reach has over 40 million executives paired with consumer demographics. So you can match age, income, marital status, lifestyle, and you can blend them with job title, industry, company size. This is what I talk about when I see the full holistic view. When I try to talk about the full holistic view of an individual, I want to see their job title as well as their lifestyle in order to be able to understand how to really target customer. sometimes it's easiest to see the power of executive reach in its offline form. Show you an offline profile of Bill. So I see if you get Bill's consumer, he is a father, he's married, happily married, and with an income and is 46 years old. If you were looking at that, you might say that, he might be good for, President's Child for holiday season, for toys, and for, again, for maybe trying to go home and feed your kids. But then you look at the business attribute, and you see he's a business owner, and he has a business address, and he travels a lot for business. Now, the fact that he has a presence of child and he's a business owner can help you understand Bill the way he's supposed to be understood. Now, obviously, when you're taking this profile, this offline profile, and putting it into the digital space, all of the PII is scraped and then is given an ID, anonymous ID. In this case, actually, Loademy has helped us create a persistent ID for all of our digital online segments. Now, as we kind of executive reach into the market, agencies and brands really responded to it. And we've been using executive reach in the offline space for many years. It is really hard for agencies and clients to get a grasp of exactly how to use this, as the menu seemed to be too large. We created a sort of segments based off of what we think would be trending in the holiday season that you can already get and is available in the co-branded section of Loademy right now. To kind of picture on how we think some of these segments could be used, I'm going to bring up potentially a relatable scenario. For example, what am I going to buy my wife for Christmas? I buy that present at home, and I don't want to happen what happened last year when I forgot. So luxury brands can take advantage of this by targeting executive husbands at work to help us avoid a very, very cold Christmas. For example, being high-end suits. If you were going to target individuals for high-end suits, you'd either look at the demographic of high-end income individual, or maybe you try to look at the firmographic, trying to reach financial industry. But the strength is in the two. By trying to target people who work in the finance industry with a high propensity for high income, you are truly targeting the audience who might be interested, as well as the need and the use for those high-end suits. I've probably heard many times across the industry, and it's been regurgitated ad nauseum, the holy grail of marketing has been to deliver the right message to the right audience at the right time. We do that executive reach allows you to look at the entire picture of an individual, as well as help you to understand the right time to reach your customers. We appreciate all of your time here to listen and to help learn about the multi-persona paradox. And I want to thank Loademy for obviously helping host this webinar. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact myself or your Loademy contact. Thank you very much, and I hope this was educational.
Ben, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to present this paradox to us and how solutions on how to best target our consumers and B2B contacts. Thank you again. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to myself, star@loademy.com, or your strategic account manager. We'll be more than happy to walk you through the Infogroup and the Loademy UI. Also, any questions, please feel free to reach out to Ben Goldman. As you can see, his contact information is on the screen, ben.goldman@infogroup.com. And that should be really helpful. But there was one quick question, Ben. I was wondering if you could answer it before we got off this call. We were wondering, is there any holiday segments that you recommend that people look into or should be coming out from Infogroup for the holiday season?
Hello?
Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Sorry. Put on mute for a second. Did you have any questions?
There's a question about holiday segments or seasonal segments. We're wondering if there's anything new coming up for this holiday season or new that we should expect in 2017.
that's the beauty part. We really just touch the surface on the kind of segments we create. We try to create, as I'll kind of go back to the segments that we did create, try to create ones that we thought were universally accepted, but we feel that the real power is going to be when we start talking to clients and seeing what they need, because we really can create many more. But next year, what I'm thinking this could go into, to helping to even in the TV and addressable TV space, helping to create audiences and blending them with some viewership aspects of it to it. That's kind of a forward-looking view of it. But a season, I think these are the ones we've created thus far. We are nimble in creating more.
Thanks so much. And if anybody has any questions or they want custom segments, they can reach out to their technical account manager or their strategic account manager, and we'll work on getting that data ingested into your account directly. Well, thank you again, everybody, Ben, especially for taking time out of your day. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And thank you again.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.